Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another amazing episode of Catching Up with the Tolberts. I'm Chelsea Whittington, and it seems like I was just here, but it's a good thing because now I think I have a good cadence with your team in doing something monthly. You know, we had ripping and running, and now we are back on our regularly scheduled program. How are you both?
Fantastic. That is good.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted to jump in, and for those of you who are new to the platform of Catching Up with the Tolberts, it's a monthly opportunity to come to the beautiful law offices of Tolbert and Tolbert and talk about all things happening with the firm, both legally and in the community. And so I will start with community today because just as recent as Saturday evening, I was able to hear from the two of you as you were co-presenters for the City of Life's inaugural Partners Gala. I wanted to make sure I said that right. City Life Center's inaugural Partners Gala. What was that like? What did you do, Shalise? I'll start with you.
You know, it was exciting. It was pressure being the first speakers, the first event. But God places us where He wants us to be, and City Life Center is doing amazing things for our community, for families in the community to thrive, and youth programming, after school programming, and just making sure the families in our community are taken care of with getting them food and so many things going on over there. So that was one of the reasons why we said, we would accept speaking at this event. And they've got great partners. So.
They really do. And speaking of, your partner also spoke. And how did you manage that, Michael, to make sure that the two of you had an effective presentation that everybody was engaged? I know, but tell them.
Well, I'm a firm believer that once you get married, you become one. So we really try to live that creed. So I think that it was pretty simple. Shalise gave me I think she gave herself 15 minutes. I gave myself 15 minutes, and we had a 30-minute block, so it worked out. I didn't know what she was going to say, but I had a feeling she would do a great job, and she did. She did not go over her time, and I don't think I went over my time, so everything worked out.
And the good news is that if you missed that presentation, it actually lives on your page and YouTube, and we're spreading it all out. And I want to send a special shout out to Dr. Josh and his team, because a first-time effort with a gala is a big undertaking, and I think that they did an amazing job. Yes. What are some of the things that you like?
Well, you know what? It was a little different with after the program and the entertainment came out. What was the
big shining light man?
Yeah, the light man on stilts. He was lighting up like a robot, but at the same time, it was just mesmerizing.
So, funny thing, Amber was scared of him.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so you won't see any photos of her, and shout out to Amber in her absence today. But it was, I had to kind of get used to it, because just to see like a 10-foot tall light statue of a person robot coming toward you, you kind of had to make the adjustment. But I thought that was pretty cool. What did you think, Mike?
I thought it was cool too, and anytime you have any sort of organization that focuses on youth development, you can never go wrong. It's never a miss. So shout out to City Life, and continue to do wonderful things in our community. And we're always going to be community supporters there to support them.
Yes,
absolutely.
And I know you all won't do it. So toot of the horn of the Tolberts. In addition to them being the co-presenters for the evening, of course, they lent their financial support, had a table there, making donations, and just always leading the way in a philanthropic thrust. And I just want to acknowledge that. And the latest numbers, I believe they were able to raise about $22,000 toward programs. And the thing that Dr. Josh emphasizes that a few of the grants that normally funded their programs have either gone away, aren't being renewed, or something like that. And so they opted to do this gala, and I told them, great job for a first time out the gate, and it can only grow from there.
Exactly.
And now you all are off the hook for having to be co-presenters again. But good job. You'll have to really go back and watch it, though. There's a part where Attorney Tolbert, Michael, starts to rap and invites us to rap along with him in all of his hip-hop glory, right, Shalise? So that was very exciting. So thanks again for your support on that. I want to move along another community thing that you all have been doing, or you did, Michael. You were talking to some young people about the legal career, and were you on a campus? What happened?
Yeah, so we are staunch supporters of Indiana University Northwest. I'm on the advisory board for them, and their pre-law society reached out to me and asked for me to basically do a dinner chat with them.
Mm-hmm.
And Shalise and I, whenever we get those invitations, we always welcome them, and we always want to make sure that we pour back into the youth. So, you know, a lot of times, I know I can't speak for Shalise, but I know for me, it was very hard for me before I got to law school, to find a mentor, to somebody that could talk to me that was already there and practicing.
Yeah.
So I said, once I become a lawyer, somebody reached out to me and wanted me to talk to them about the practice and about the rigors and how to get from point A to B, that I was always going to lend my resources. So that's what that was. The pre-law society at IUN was just, those kids were bright. They were phenomenal. They asked very, very, very good questions, better questions that I probably would have asked when I was like, 20, 21 years old. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do in the future, 5, 10 years from now. They'll be future practitioners. And right now there's a lawyer shortage in our area.
Okay.
So it's very important for us as lawyers to really try to increase that pipeline of new lawyers.
Yeah, and when I hear the term pre-law, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to law school, right? It's like you have the aspirations,
That's right.
but being a part of those organizations, pre-law society, and interacting with those who are already in the profession, I think helps to ensure or help them along the way. But I mean, Shalise, talk a little bit about it. When somebody declares pre-law, what does that mean?
Well, you know what's so funny about it? I had pre-law classes within my business major.
Okay.
So I think at the time in college, my advisor may have been the pre-law professor. I'm trying to remember, but it helps guide them to learn a little bit about what the law is about, and allows them to make the decision, particularly when they're involved in the organizations.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm being exposed to somebody that's already in the legal field. Is this something that I want to do? Do I really want to be involved?
Mm-hmm.
And then later I learned in law school that everything I learned in my law classes or pre-law classes in undergrad, we learned in like the first 2 weeks
that's true.
of law school.
Really?
That's
Wow.
Took a whole semester of business law, and we learned in about the first 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds
Law
intense.
Yes.
But here's the other thing, as you kind of spoke to, Michael, that being involved and engaged in these organizations to help develop that pipeline for future lawyers is a special benefit to you, right, Miss HR? Miss Recruitment?
It is. When you have the unfortunate loss of the law school from our area, you've got to create some networks. And so by connecting with, Indiana University Northwest and other schools in the area that may have the pre-law or other legal related societies, organizations, clubs, we reach out. And so, when we're looking to hire
Mm-hmm.
summer interns,
Mm-hmm.
summer clerks is what they call them in the legal field, law clerks, any aspect that could possibly help them.
Well, I am so glad, and thank you for doing that, Michael, especially since you are coming off of trial. So I was trying to steer clear of you. I was trying not to email. We were trying not to text, but there was a good outcome, I understand. And so you want to share, once again, your pre-trial regimen. What do? Is it the favorite shirt that you don't wash? I don't know what that is.
He avoids me for like 2 weeks.
Oh, no.
He avoids me.
He avoids
unless we're
it.
talking about the case.
Okay.
That's
I
standard.
tell people all the time, since I'm a huge boxing fan, so I love boxing. So my pretrial regimen probably mirrors that of a boxer.
Okay.
So I shut down when I'm in training camp. When I'm 3-4 weeks out, I don't talk to anybody. I'm in camp. I'm running up mountains.
Wait.
While he's pulling cars on a chain around his waist.
Right, okay. Eating egg yolks.
I'm punching raw meat like Rocky.
Okay.
What was that? Rocky. That was Rocky 1.
Rocky
Yeah, that was the
Rocky.
beginning.
Yeah,
Yes.
so but literally I shut down, and I don't shave.
He isolates himself.
I do. I isolate myself because I want to be. I think the clients deserve that. They deserve for me to be completely immersed in their case, and for me to understand every nook and cranny of their case and their issue.
I love it.
So, and it works for me. You know, I know other people have other regimens, but that works for me.
Okay, so how did it turn out? Did it work out without
Yeah,
naming names
it worked,
and stuff?
It worked out. God is, we don't take credit for any victory we get because, God controls it all. So he shined on us once again, and we were able to get a very successful outcome. We got a defense verdict. And, thank the city of East Chicago because it was it's a city of East Chicago case, and they have just been such a partner and an ally to our firm, and has given us a lot of opportunities to represent them. And it is truly, truly an honor to represent Mayor Copeland and to work with Corporation Counsel Joel Legretti and to do all the wonderful work that they give us. So trials are very difficult, but they trust us to handle these cases. And
why shouldn't they?
Well, I just we don't probably tell them that enough, but we're very thankful for them, and I'm glad we could get a great result for them.
So we did a little recap on this case then, and since I know the one you're talking about in your most recent newsletter.
Yes.
So can I shout out my Howard brother that joined the legal
Absolutely.
team with you,
Absolutely.
Attorney Darnell Lyles.
Absolutely, and he's also a man of what? He's a man with Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity.
Okay, I was gonna let you do that connect.
Yeah,
I got the Howard connect.
Yeah, so no, it's always good to collaborate with great lawyers in our community, and particularly from Gary, Indiana. So it was good, and I know Shalise mentioned that. She did call him, I think, did she call him seasoned?
That might have been me. I might have tweaked some language. I don't know. I use that often about myself. I'm seasoned.
I've learned that term some years ago in my Greek organization.
Okay.
Seasons.
Yeah, but,
Yes,
but Darnell was a joy to work with. We had a good time splitting and dividing the case up, and it's always good. I like working with other people because you learn different styles. And my father taught me when I was younger that you can learn any experience. You should cherish it because you can really develop a new skill. So anytime I work with any lawyer, whether it be Darnell or anybody, always learn something from it. So yeah, shout out to him. And shout out, he's retiring pretty soon too.
What? Say it ain't so, D. Okay.
So he's retiring, so we're gonna miss him. He's been practicing in this area for a long time. So shout out to him and his second act.
All right. We call it retirement, and some of them call them rewirement. So he might
that's right.
rewire
That's
and do
right.
something else. Knowing him, he'll be traveling the world per usual and living his best life. So I'll wait for the invite, Darnell, to all the festivities. But I want to close out, before we close out with the most important message of the day, which we'll get to. I always like to give you an opportunity to talk about the type of law that you do. So people, again, don't inbox me saying, tell Michael to get me off. Get me off. Help me. He helped the police. Help me. So, Shalise, can you just go over the type of law that we do here at Tolbert and Tolbert?
Yes. So we handle civil litigation, which means that we are helping people solve problems, sometimes where the resolution is money, sometimes it's coming to an agreement on something, contracts. Personal injury cases, when people are injured, we do defense work where people have been sued, but not criminally.
Okay.
I do a little bit of estate planning. Michael is a mediator, and we do, as he mentioned before, some things for some of the governments in our surrounding cities. So
Okay.
if you need some legal services.
Yeah, how do we find you?
1085 Broadway, Suite B, Gary, Indiana, right on the corner of 11th and Broadway, 219-427-0094, TolbertLegal.com.
All right. And are we hiring? I need to always ask if there are openings, because who wouldn't want to work for an amazing firm like this?
We are always looking to grow. So right now we're searching for file clerks, paralegals, and associates.
Okay.
Always looking to grow.
All right, sounds good. Hit that website, call the phone number, submit a resume, and see what happens. Whew. You all, the two of you counselors, you more than anybody knows the importance of practicing our legal rights and exercising our rights. We are in election season, and no, I'm not about to get political, but you told me that the two of you just voted. I see your sticker. Early voting, Michael. What does that mean? I mean, it's so important.
It means a lot, and just if you're curious about who I voted for, I voted for Alderman Davis from Good Times, and I voted for Councilman Tate for Power. So those are my two people that I voted.
I love Councilman Tate on Power.
Did you vote? He's on the ballot.
Yes, he's always on the ballot. I know. We just go along with it.
I don't even know. I don't know.
And Winona, you always got Winona's name wrong. And you too, Winona. I love it. We are so dating ourselves.
So Councilman
These
Tate,
young kids
on
don't
my
know what we're
list.
talking about right now.
Right. They're like, we'll Google it later. Good times.
He became a congressman before power went off.
That's right.
He
Congressman,
was a
vote for him
congressman.
as Congress
Yeah,
too.
Lorraine.
Sorry, Franklin man. Sorry.
But you all did the early vote thing, and I did the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw my little snippet on Friday, but I'm still tearing up about it. I took my dad to vote.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he's 93.
Yeah.
He didn't want to sit down. You know, there was a chair up front, like you can sit until your turn comes up. And he said, no, I want to stand with everybody else. And then when we finished the process, he came out, we walked out. It was a long line, by the way. You all need to get in line.
Yeah.
And I said, we did it, Daddy. And the whole line just burst out in applause.
All right.
You can't make this stuff up.
All
And so
right.
talk to me, Shalise, about your experience voting and what you would tell someone who doesn't quite understand the fight and the struggle that afforded us the opportunity to just do it.
Well, you know what? I have to say that I recall actually going with my mom and family members to vote at the designated place over on 45th and Delaware. That they would go to, as a church annex that they would go to and vote. And I remember going and, wondering, why are they behind these big machines? What's going on? What's such a secret? And then we'd leave and go wherever else. And so it's always been something I've seen happening, and my family exercising their right to vote. But it's very crucial because not only in the presidential years, people always get excited about the presidential election, but always exercise your right to vote in those years where there's not a presidential election, because that's hitting you more locally. You're voting usually for your council people, your senators, your state representatives, and those are the ones that are making the local laws that affect you personally. So anytime there's an election, you should go out and vote. And if you can vote early, take advantage of that so you're not standing in longer lines and you don't change your mind or get wooed because you're tired or you can't get off of work. Early voting starts a month before the actual election. So even on weekends, they make some sites available on Saturdays and longer hours. So check it out. Look at the websites. You still have time to early vote until I think 3 p.m. on Monday. So if you can do it on the weekend, on Saturday, I think they extend the hours until 3 o'clock on Saturdays at the locations that are open. So please, it is very important for you to do that and continue to do that.
Okay. That's free advice from the Tolberts. As we get ready to get out of here, holidays are coming. I know I'll be back in with you all in November, but what most are you looking forward to for the holiday season?
My sister's red velvet cake.
Yes.
Yes, the red velvet cake. So
Yes.
if we put in an early bid, maybe she'll make extra to mail back to Gary from where is
It's
it?
not going to make it back. I'm just telling you right
It
now.
might, because we're leaving a little earlier this time.
It's
coming
not going to
back.
make it back. It's not going to make it past Thanksgiving Day.
Oh my
Yeah, people
goodness.
fight over that red
Well,
velvet.
I can
Fight over that
try.
cake.
And so I guess that's what the two of you are looking forward to. You have anything else?
You know, I mean,
That's it.
Here's the deal. I enjoy going to Birmingham. I first met Michael's family in Birmingham the year that we got engaged. Or the year, because we got engaged like in early November, and then we went there for Thanksgiving. And we've been going ever since. So that was 2005. So when we miss years, I'm all like, wait,
Right.
what's happening? And then when we miss years, I got to cook.
Oh, so you're not
they
trying to miss
still
years.
treat me like a guest. I wash dishes, I right the table, what you need me to do, I don't have to cook. So we do
And
that.
you get red velvet.
I get red velvet.
The reason to
That's
stay
just
married. There
Southern
you go.
cooking. Come on.
I love
But
But
it.
they do give to me and be like, you not ironing his clothes? I be like,
Oh my, that is Southern.
That's the Southern thing.
Yes, that is.
Right,
And
so
you be like,
yeah.
oh, time to get back up
he
north.
said he didn't need nothing iron.
All right.
No, but
Yeah.
it's a great time. The holiday season is a great time for us to reflect on God's gifts
Absolutely.
over the year that He's given us, and just family, and for me, unfortunately, I just lost a sister, so I think this holiday season is going to be very special in terms of realizing that the time on this earth is very precious to us. So
Yes.
if you have a loved one, hug them a little tighter and don't take them for granted. And we shouldn't do that just around the holidays, but we should do that, 365. So,
Yep.
but this will be a special holiday. Plus, we go on vacation. We take our very nice vacation, end of the year vacation. So that I'm looking forward to that. Cabo is the place this year.
All
so
right.
Hey, don't be trying to follow us.
Well, I think that that's a perfect place to put a pin in this discussion. I want to thank all of you. You are now officially caught up with the Tolberts. Congratulations on everything that you are doing, and thank you for everything that you are doing in the community. Please make sure you follow them on Facebook, follow them on YouTube and Instagram. They're everywhere doing the right things for this community. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time, November.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.